I started recording. So yeah, today we are going to discuss about 10 important interview questions, which are nothing but behavioral application support interview questions, which are useful for application support analysts. Okay, so we are just discussing about uh, the questions, answers with real life industry examples. So it will be easy to you to give the answer during the interviews. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
the first question is, can you walk through me your experience as a system analyst or similar role? So just would like to take your answer, Arthur, first. Like if this question asked to you, what will you answer?
Well, I would say that in my previous role as an application support analyst, my roles and responsibilities was like supporting the application, making sure that at the level of the end users, the application doesn't run maybe slow, making sure that the end users can use the application smoothly on a daily basis. Also maintaining the security of the application, preventing application maybe to be to go down or any phishing attack.
Okay.
Uh, I would say collaborating also with cross-functional teams on a day-to-day to resolve database-related issues
Okay.
using back-end technologies and front-end technologies. Yeah, I would say
That's good
something like
answer.
that, you know.
Yeah, that's good answer. Just you require to frame in step by step approach so that you can give it more. Okay. So you can just say like during my tenure in application system analyst, I have gained extensive experience in managing and supporting various business applications and ensuring the optimal performance and availability of the application. And you can give the example of complexsql.com. So I have supported complexsql.com in my previous organization, and I made sure that the website is very much optimized and available 24 by 7 to its customers. Okay. That example you can add here, and you can give it in the pointer. So you have given the absolute correct answer, like adding the technologies which you have supported. So first step, you can start with application support and troubleshooting. So when you are working in the application support, you must require to use the word troubleshooting, because the key
Mhm.
important task of application support engineer is troubleshooting the
Mhm.
applications. Okay. So you can start with the troubleshooting word and application support with troubleshooting. So I have provided the comprehensive support for range of enterprise level applications, because why I have added that word enterprise level here, you can see software suites and business level applications they require, right? So that's why I have added the enterprise level application word.
Mhm.
Okay. So I have provided comprehensive support for range of enterprise level applications, including monitoring system performance, identifying issues, implementing timely resolution to minimize the downtime. So this is another important word which you may use in your answers. Okay. So in as an application support engineer, it's your role and responsibility and it's your duty to keep the uptime for the application as much as possible. Like most of the applications are having 99.7 or 99.8% uptime. Okay.
Mhm.
And minimizing downtime is your responsibility, key responsibility when you're supporting the application. So you can add that experience, and you can add like my experience with complexsql.com allowed me to develop deep understanding about SQL databases. Let's take a base for this complexsql.com SQL. Let's say we are using Oracle as a backend system for this complexsql.com. Okay. So you can add
Mhm.
the details, more details when you are giving the walkthrough about your experiences. Okay. Like develop a deep understanding about SQL databases, Unix system, which provided invaluable in diagnosing and resolving the application related problems. So that is first pointer. Okay. Second pointer, which we have already discussed, and
I have a question. I have a question, please.
yeah, yeah.
So if they ask me like what type of enterprise level application did you support? Because one day they asked me that question, like what types of application did you support?
Yes, you can tell in
And I
enterprise
didn't
level application support, I have supported the complexsql.com, which is one of the enterprise level application. Second application name, I will give you track and trace. Okay. So that
you
you
said
may
track and
remember.
trash.
Track and trace.
Can you type the name of that in the chat, please?
Yes, sure. I will give you that in the chat. Track and trace application. I will give you the details about this application as well, so that you will be ready with two
Just
applications.
in case
Yeah,
they ask me, yeah.
yeah.
Complex
Mm,
and track
Not
and
sure
trace.
where is the chat board. Okay, but I will provide you that track and trace. Okay,
Yeah, sure.
I will give you separately, but here is the name. Track and trace.
Mhm. Track and
Okay.
trace.
Track and trace. Just like in Amazon.com, if you are using Amazon.com, you can see the parcel tracking system, right? In parcel tracking system, we are using the track and trace application, which is enterprise level application. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So second thing, you require to just give the trace on user trainings and documentation, because if you can see your job description, you can
Mhm.
see high level company
Okay.
documents and sensitive data. That's why I added that second point. Okay. So I facilitate the user training sessions to ensure the end-to-end user well versed in utilizing application effectively. Additionally, I maintained up to the date documentation process, procedures, and system configurations, which streamlined troubleshooting and support efforts. So for this, I would like to give example of Confluence. Okay. So this is Confluence page. And here we are supporting all the documents. Okay, adding all the documents. So this is Confluence for complexsql.com and this is Jira for complexsql.com, which I will give you the overview after this discussion. Okay. Any question for second option, user training and documentation?
So if they ask me how was my documentation, will I say I was using Confluence to document and
Yes, you
track my
can
work?
say that I was using Confluence pages for documentation purpose. And if they ask you in detail about documentation, we will discuss that after this call in Jira and Confluence overview.
Okay.
Okay, I will showcase you one example of documentation. I will give you multiple examples and documents to your mail ID. Okay, that makes sense.
Make perfect sense.
Okay, cool. So this is about second thing you require to add it, stress it. Okay. Third is related to process and automation. Okay. So nowadays you are seeing like we are using ChatGPT, OpenAI, and other multiple tools to do the automation and to complete our work as fast as possible. So you require to add that pointer as well. And I would suggest you to add one of the sentence in your resume as well regarding automation as well, so that you will get multiple calls. Okay. So in that you require to give the answer like I continuously evaluated existing processes and identified opportunities for improvement. So I have given one example. At complexsql.com, I contributed to development for automation scripts and enhance the efficiency of routine tasks such as database backup and monitoring. So I will explain you this example. Okay. So this is complexsql.com website, and we require to
Mhm,
take the backup of this website on daily basis, so that make sure that if this website will get down, then you can just upload that backup and start the
mhm.
website. Okay. So that process I have automated. You can tell just like that. Okay.
I know
So
automation.
you know automation?
Yeah, in SQL, yeah, I've learned automation.
Okay, you require to write the scripts,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I know the tools that you can, but mostly automation is done with PowerShell, right? Or maybe the scripts, right?
Yeah, yeah. So you can add that
So
point. That is your
mention the
strong point.
PowerShell.
Automation.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So you can say that you use PowerShell scripts to for your automation.
Correct. You can add some
Okay.
scripts, automation scripts to do the automation, or in Unix scripts also you can add the automation links to restart server. So you can add a simple example to restart server for complexsql.com on weekly basis to clear the cache of that website. Okay,
Mhm.
so that is a simple scripts. If you want that script, I will give you that script as well. Okay, simple script.
So you said automation using Unix to clear the cache.
Clear the cache. Automation using Unix or automation using Unix script to clear the cache.
Mhm,
Okay.
to clear the cache.
So that you can simple. This is a simple example. You can use anywhere. It will use
Okay.
anywhere, right? Okay. So fourth point is collaboration and cross-functional teams. So in the organization, you require to work with multiple teams and you require to have the communication with multiple stakeholders, like you are doing right now in your current role, right? So you can add that point as well. I work closely with the developers because as a support engineer, you require to communicate, collaborate with development team, right? And nowadays, if you can see, the developers are sitting like India or Indonesia or other countries. So
Mhm,
you can add that point like currently our development team was sitting in India and we require to collaborate with Indian team. So I have stretched because if you can see the job description, you require to stretch your hours for some time, right? So you can add that point. Like I already did that
yeah.
in previous organization, like
Mhm,
stretching my hours to do the communication with the developers who are sitting in India. Okay, that is
it
a
makes
fantastic
sense.
example, right?
No, it's very nice. That's a good one to add.
Yeah, so you can add that example and then system administrators or other stakeholders to address the application related issues and implement the system enhancements. So my ability to communicate technical concepts to non-technical audience was crucial in fostering effective collaboration and ensuring the successful project outcomes. Okay, so you can add that point when you get the question like this, and this is 100% asked question. Okay, so everyone will ask you the experience about your application support
Yeah, yeah,
engineer or
yeah.
application
Definitely they
support
will ask.
analyst role. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. So in mock interview, we can take that question as well, and we will see how you are answering. And if any issues, I will just tell you how to improve on that parts. Okay. Then security and compliance, like we have discussed about some best practices. Like in Europe, if you are supporting the Europe, I've seen that Catista organization is from Switzerland, right? So it is based out of Europe, and you require to add the GDPR rule. Require to see what exactly the GDPR is in Europe.
Can you give me something that I can say when it comes to security, like a sentence? How do I phrase it with the GDPR? I try to I don't know how to
Okay.
put it in
Okay,
technical
okay.
words.
So you can add like in my previous organization, our software is supporting to the European customers. Okay, you can take example of track and trace, but in European
Mhm,
customers, they are following the rule GDPR, right? And in GDPR, we are not getting the information, and as a company, we don't require to give the information of the customer to larger audience. So we have used some encryption and decryption method over there. so that we will clear that GDPR rule. Okay, simple. Make that sentence, and if you want that, I will frame that for you and we'll send you one. Okay.
Yeah, that would be also nice.
To
Thank you.
safeguard the sensitive data, we are using the GDPR. Okay.
Yeah. So, or maybe I can let me just try it this way, and you tell me if it's good. So I
Perfect.
can say that in my previous organization,
Mhm.
working with the track and trace business
Correct.
application.
Correct.
So we were following the GDPR rules in
Mhm.
order to protect our, our end users' sensitive information,
Correct.
ensuring compliance with the, with the security rules,
Mhm.
applying encryption and decryption to make sure that,
Correct.
when it comes to security, yeah, something like
That
that.
is perfect. That is absolutely
Yeah.
perfect. If you use this one sentence as well, na, the interviewer will get the information like you have got the information. You are really serious about the security and compliance policies for the company. So they are just checking that pointers. Okay, nothing means when I
Mhm.
am taking the interview, I'm just checking that pointers. Like if he has added one of the pointer for process improvement and automation or not. If he has added the security related pointer or not. So just one pointer will make sense to the interviewer. Okay. Cool. And you can add the incident management and root cause analysis like Jira tool. So I was responsible for managing incidents, reports, conducting root cause analysis to prevent the recurrence of the issues. So I will show you that example in Jira. So don't worry about that. We will discuss that in detail for one of the example. Okay. So you can add like my experience at complexequal.com equipped with the skill to handle technical complex problems and to develop the effective solution. Okay. So these no need to add every pointers. Okay. So you can frame your answer. This is the answer which you can utilize to create your answer own answer. Okay. So it's not like you require to tell as it is if they ask you regarding your experience. So
So
this is one of the
my main
sample answer.
issue, I like when you explain because it makes me to grab it easily.
Correct,
I don't
correct.
want to do cram. I want to understand the answer so that I can say
Yes.
it in my own words easily. Yeah.
Perfect, perfect. And you're giving good answer for that question. Whatever you have answered me. Okay. So this is important. Have you did any research about Catista IT or
So
sorry,
I was
Calista
planning to do
IT?
it. I didn't do it
Okay.
already.
Don't worry, I have did it for you, so no need to do it
Thank you.
from your side. Okay. So Calista is the partner IT managed company. Headquarter is in Switzerland. So you require to know that thing about the company where you are applying. So we are taking the example of Calista because right now you are preparing for Calista, but whatever company you are applying for, you require to do some research like this before just giving the interview because they can ask you one interview question regarding the organization. Okay. So it is specialized
Yeah.
in providing the capacity solutions and consulting and engineering, etc. And if you can see, they are using Internet of Things, IoT, automation, wireless sensors, e-surveillance, software development, big data analytics, and more. Okay, these services they are into. You need to know about every company where you are applying.
Mhm.
So your answer, sample answer will be: I'm genuinely excited about the opportunity to work in Calista IT because company's reputation for innovation and commitment. How I come up with that innovation and commitment? Because they are using IoT, they're using automation, which are really cutting edge technologies, right? So you can add that
Mhm.
details in your answer. And I'm particularly drawn to Calista IT to emphasize on fostering a collaborative and inclusive work environment, which align with my own values and work ethics. Like you can say, like I'm already having the experience working with cutting edge technologies. So you can give one or two examples. Like in my previous organization, I was using Copilot system. Like Copilot is just like a your what you can say Chat GPT. Okay, so Copilot
Yeah.
to give my Excel reports to my managers, okay, or to create the Excel report automation. So you can add some of the examples so that you can give them or emphasize them like you have already experienced in using cutting edge technologies and you are not uh, you're believing the change, okay, and you are ready to accept the change whatever happening in the industry level, okay.
When they say cutting edge technology, it means this recent AI. Is
Cutting
that
edge
what it means?
technologies are nothing but new technologies, whatever coming, like AI technology or
Mhm.
big data analytics, any new technology, IoT things, whatever is that is. Those are
Also,
cutting edge.
IoT is also something new.
Yes, you require to add one. Mean I have given one example to you. Okay, in this interview
Copilot.
questions, I have
Mhm.
given one example. Like you can add one example, like you learned the Chat GPT or you learned the OpenAI technology, which is cutting edge technology. Okay, currently. So that technology where you have used, I will tell you that in next interview questions. Okay, so that we
Like
will go step by
Copilot
step.
is,
Copilot, you can give the Copilot. Okay, Copilot is
yeah, I've used
nice
Copilot to create
example.
Excel reports.
Correct, correct. Yeah, yeah. So you can add the answer like I'm confident about my skills in application support, process improvement, collaboration will make me a valuable asset to the Calista IT team. Okay. So you require to believe them that I am the right person and I'm the valuable asset. Why I'm valuable asset? Because I have already worked in application support, in process improvements and collaboration and all those things. Okay. And I'm eager to bring my expertise and passion for the technology to the company that is at forefront of innovation and excellence. Why I have written these sentences? Because of this. detailed knowledge about the company, which I have already studied, like where it is situated, located, and what technologies the company is working on. So create the answer like this for you. Makes sense?
Perfect. It's really good.
Okay.
I
So
like
next
it.
interview question: do you prioritize multiple tasks when dealing with urgent issues? Yes, we are prioritizing. We require to prioritize that, right?
Of course, based
So
on this
how to
urgency and
prioritize is
impact.
important with example, right? So that I have given
Yeah, example.
here. Yeah. Example is important for every answers. Okay. Whatever interview question, if you are giving the examples, the interviewer will closely match, like whatever he is doing as an interviewer. Interviewer is also a technical guy. So he was doing the day-to-day activities as well, like you are doing. So he will closely match that with his day-to-day activities, and the chances will be high to get the job. Okay. So during the critical system outage, so I have given one example of outage for this complexequal.com website. Okay. Outage is like if I require to add the contactors as a new page. So I require to stop the website, I require to do some programming and add that files, do the deployment. So in that time, there might be the system outage for 5 or 10 minutes when I will do the deployment activities. That is called as outage. Okay. So I've given that example. During the critical system outage of complexequal.com, I faced multiple urgent tasks that require immediate attention. And here is how I prioritize and manage that tasks. Okay, I have given some list of tasks and some pointers which you can remember. No need to give the answer in these pointers. Okay, you can remember, you can create your own answer and give it to the interviewer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so first
Yeah.
assess the situation. So what is the situation right now? Outage of complexequal.com.
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay. What is the situation? Complexequal.com outage is the situation, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
quickly assess the scope and impact of the outage, identifying most affected system and users. So you require to check most affected systems and users. Let's say complexequal.com is integrated with other application, right? And other
Mm-hmm.
application is taking data from complexequal.com. So impact is high that other applications, few functionalities will not work for which they are dependent for complexequal.com to get the data, right?
Mm-hmm.
So create your
Yeah.
example like that. Hmm? So assessing the situation is first part to prioritize the urgent task. Let's say some of the functionality of complexequal.com is not used by any stakeholders. Okay. Then the impact is very low for that thing, right? So
Yeah.
no need to prioritize that issue. But let's say other functionality like contact us page, we are getting the data from the customers for contact us page, right? And customers are already always using that contact us page to give the details to us. So the impact is very high if that is not working. That priority is higher than the other thing, right? Using that, you require to prioritize this. So that is the second option. Prioritize based on the impact. I prioritize the task
Mm-hmm.
based on the impact of business operations, just like I have given you the example of complexsql.com. Restoring the primary database was on top priority since it is affected most critical application. So let's say four applications are using one database. Okay. And the
Okay.
database was down. So the four applications was down. So your first responsibility to up that database, primary database, right? So that will be your top priority. That is second example. Got it? You're getting it, making sense, right?
Check.
Yeah. Allocate the resources. I assigned the specific team members to handle different aspects of issues. While I focused on database recovery, another team member addressed the network connectivity problems. So in this kind of situation of outage of complexequal.com, there are multiple things we require to do parallelly. Like one person will check the database, other person will check the front end, one person will check the servers. So you require to allocate the correct resources, right? So this allocation will do by technical lead or team lead from your side. But I have added that point so that you require to have the flavor like this situation. If this situation will happen, what we require to do? Okay. Fourth
Okay.
point is communicate clearly. So whatever is the issue, whatever is the impact, you require to communicate clearly to the stakeholders because stakeholders there is a financial impact of that. Let's say track and trace application, which I will give you the details about that application track and trace. So if you are using that, and track and trace applications are used by most of the delivery executives. Okay, and if that application is not working, then delivery executives cannot give the parcel to the stakeholders, right, or their clients. So you require to communicate that there is a business impact aligned with that thing, that operation, right? So in that case, you require to communicate clearly with the stakeholders, like how much time it will require to fix that issue. Let's say you are suspecting like 1 hour time is required for that, and you got the communication from multiple teams. Let's say server teams told you like for this restart of server application, we require 15 minutes time. Database team told you like we require 15 minutes time to fix the database. So you require to give 1 hour time to the stakeholder. Like we will require to check that application after database restoration, server restoration, and then I will communicate with you like application is working fine or not. Okay, this is one example of clear communication. Okay, and
Mhm.
document actions. I documented all actions taken during the incident to facilitate root cause analysis, which I will show you in the Jira. Okay, how to do that after this discussion of call. Okay, this makes sense. Third question: how do you prioritize the urgent
Makes
issues?
sense. Prioritizing, yeah, assessing the situation, prioritizing based on impact,
Correct.
allocating resources. That's a good approach to show that you really know the experience. You really have the experience. I like it.
Correct. Yeah.
No, read it again well.
We'll move to next interview question. Can you give the example of a time where you had to learn new application quickly and how do you approach it? So here I have added the Copilot thing. Okay, for you.
Yeah.
So when I was working with supporting complexequal.com, I quickly learned to integrate the Copilot to enhance user support. And this is my approach, which I have followed to learn the Copilot. Okay. So I have created this example. If you are having any other example in your mind, you can create like that. But Copilot is nowadays using every organization. Most of the organizations are preferring Copilot over the Chat GPT or over other things because Copilot is from Microsoft, right? So that is
Mhm.
more used automation tool or automation software, and they are integrating that Copilot application with multiple tools. Like they have started right now to integration with Jira. They did the integration with Excel as well. So I have that's why I've added that Copilot thing. Okay. First thing, to learn any new application, what you require to check? Documentation. Okay. So conducted a thorough review of Copilot documentation and user manuals to understand its features and capabilities. So if you don't know the features of Copilot, how you integrate with your application, right? So you require to
Yeah.
know the details about the documentation. Second thing is hands-on practice. So how to do that hands-on practice? You can tell one example like in Excel, we have used Copilot to create the pivot tables in the Excel. Okay.
Create
So
what?
you
What type of?
pivot
You said
tables,
to pivot.
pivot tables. So in Excel, I've used the Copilot application. So I will show you that. Okay. Let's say this is the Excel, or you can say I have used the Copilot extension in the Excel. Copilot extension add-ons. Okay. Autopilot. Okay. This is autopilot extension. And you can say like create Excel sheet to viewing market research or IBM. Okay, so he will ask, okay, this is the Excel sheet. So this I have used. Means just like that, you can tell, like I have used the extension in the Excel system. Okay.
Mhm. So the name
Good.
of the edge, how do you call it, cutting edge technology? Is it Copilot or Autopilot?
Copilot, Copilot. So here it is autopilot because I don't have Copilot right now with me. It
Oh,
is
okay,
other
okay,
tool.
okay,
Okay. Other free tool. So I'm using the autopilot. Okay. Or if
okay,
you are
okay. I
using
just wanted to know.
ChatGPT for Excel and Word is the tool. Okay. Just like this.
Man,
Tell that.
you are so smart. How do you do to have all this?
Correct. Yeah. So that is about hands-on practice. You can tell one example for hands-on practice. Collaborate with experts. So you can tell my name, like I have communicated with Amit regarding the Copilot thing or learning the new
Mhm.
things of Copilot. Just like I have asked the question, like Copilot and Autopilot is similar or different. I understand the new features about Autopilot, Copilot, as well as ChatGPT for Excel. Just like that, you can create your answer. Then integration
Okay.
planning. How to do the integration for complexequal.com with Copilot. That is next step. Okay. So which you can tell the interviewer like which is work in progress right now because Copilot is not, I mean, that much advanced tool that it is having integration with every software. So they are just in studying phase whether it is feasible or not. Okay. Integration planning. You can tell like that. Implementation and test. So few features I've implemented like Excel Copilot for Excel. I was testing that things, multiple features I'm testing for Copilot. So with using these kind of things, I have learned the new application named Copilot, which is really new application and it is related to cutting edge technology for automation. Okay, just like that, you require to prepare your answer. Getting it, making sense?
That it makes sense.
Yeah. So these things you don't require to explain everything. Okay, just I have added these things so that it will be the full-fledged answer to you. And if you are not remembering one thing, you will remember at least a point like implementation and test. We require to tell the interview regarding implementation and text. I require to answer
Mhm.
regarding integration planning. That's why I've given that pointers. Okay, cool. Let's move to fifth interview question. Describe a time when you had to communicate technical concept to non-technical audience. This is also 100% asked interview question. Okay, so always we
Okay.
are having the non-technical audience who don't know about Copilot, who don't know about your application. They are just functional folks, right? And as per this job application, you require to deal with a business analyst, okay, who is not that much technical person. So I have created the answer considering that. So I have created answer using complexsql.com. So I'm using that as a base. Okay. Or you can add track and trace as well if you like. So during my time in supporting complexsql.com, I have explained a new database optimization feature to marketing and finance teams. So there are multiple teams, right? One is the marketing team, one is finance team, one is different team, right? And let's say one database optimization feature comes into picture. Like if marketing teams are using multiple reports, fetching multiple reports, and that reports are not coming on time, correct? So that optimization feature come into the picture now, and you require to explain that to the non-technical users. That is scenario. Okay, you're making sense, right? Or any issues, any questions
Oh,
with
it's
this
making
scenario?
sense. I'm just
Fine.
following. Yeah.
Okay. So you require to use the simplify language. Use simple language. Okay. In simple language, you can open one report for them. Let's say marketing team is using some marketing report, and
Mm-hmm.
you can show them like this report for this date is coming in 1 or 2 minutes. So with this new optimization feature, it is coming in 30 seconds. Okay. So you require to explain that to them using the example. Okay. Second thing is you can use the diagrams as well. So if they ask you the question like what you did in the database thing, so they don't know about indexes, they don't know about partitioning thing, they don't know about the database, what is happening. So in that you can create the diagrams. Like this is one of the report. This is database server. In database server, I have did the optimization, and you can showcase
Mm-hmm.
them. Here we have did the optimization. Previously the results are coming in 3 minutes. Now after the optimization, results are coming in 30 seconds. Okay, you can give the visual or pictorial representation flow charts. Got it? Focus on
Got
benefit.
it.
So you can tell the benefit like we are saving your time because previously your report is coming in 3 minutes. Now it is coming in 30 seconds. So you require to use that report hundreds of time in the day, right? So I have saved your time. So that is your benefit. You require to explain that benefit. Encourage questions. So you encourage them to get some questions to you and provide the clear answers for that questions and provide a written summary. Like in Confluence page, I will showcase you how to write that summary. Okay. So don't worry about that. These things you require to do to explain or communicate the technical concepts to the non-technical users. Does that make sense? Any
Correct.
questions?
Yeah. These are very good questions.
Okay. Next interview question is tell me about a time when you had to handle a sensitive or confidential information. So this is really nice question you come up with. Okay. So in your job description also security related documents and sensitive
Mm-hmm.
data handling is there, right?
Yeah, it's there.
So that this is really important question. So they might ask you this question. How you ensure the security. So I have given the same answer, complexsql.com. Okay. So in
Okay.
complexsql.com, I was responsible for managing confidential data during a system migration project. Let's say we are migrating the complex SQL data, or we are getting the data from multiple systems to the complexsql.com, and we are migrating that data simply. So how you have ensured the security, data security at that time of migration project. So I have added that pointer. So you can directly give the answer like this, or you can create your answer by your own with these pointers. Okay. So it is enough to the interviewers. First is data encryption. So do you know about data encryption? What is data encryption, Arthur?
I never applied it, but I know that encryption is simply like masking the data to protect
Correct.
against certain
Correct.
attacks.
Correct. So data encryption, I have implemented the strong encryption protocols to protect the data during the transfer and storage. As we are using the security standards, and as a company, we are having high security standards. We are using the GDPR properly and other security rules for that countries properly. We made sure that we have applied a strong encryption protocol to protect our data during the transfer and storage. Okay, that is one example for data encryption. Access control, restricted access to the sensitive information. So this is regarding your GDPR. Okay, so you
Oh
should
yeah.
have to have the restricted access to the sensitive information. Like for European customers, you don't require to disclose the phone numbers for that customers to larger audience, right?
Mm-hmm.
So phone number is your sensitive information, which you require to encrypt, which you require to protect, and you require to restrict the access to that information as well. So we have applied that rule during the migration, ensuring only authorized person could access it. Okay. Regular audits, conducted regular security audits to identify vulnerabilities and address them promptly. So the audits are very much important in security projects. So I was the part of regular audit. You can explain them. I was the part of regular audit where they are checking the sensitive information, are
Mm-hmm.
transferring properly, or we are restricting the access for the sensitive information or not. And if any vulnerabilities, then we are addressing that promptly. Okay. Secure communication. So use the secure communication channel. So what is secure communication? Do you know? Do you have any idea about secure communication? Have you used?
Yeah. I know
Are
it
you
when you send like this private
correct? Correct.
secured emails using Outlook. Yeah.
Mhm. Correct. So you must require to use the secure communication channels like encrypted mails for sharing sensitive information with the team members. Okay. This is one
Okay.
example I have given, but you can use multiple examples. Like to securely communicate with the customer, we were using the secure channel. Like our SharePoint is the secure channel, or we were using the Teams. So in Teams also we have added some security functionalities so that we can just talk to, or we have added created the private channels in the Microsoft Teams so that we can talk to only that set of customers. Okay, and proper approval is required to join that channel. Correct. So that is one of the example. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
Okay. We'll move to next interview question. Have you ever faced a challenging software related problem? How did you resolve it? So it is common question. Everyone will ask you. Okay. So I've given the answer taking complexequal.com website in picture. Okay. So while supporting the complexequal.com website, we encountered a major issue where site experienced significant slowdowns. So this you might have also faced during your work, right? So slowdown issues,
Hmm.
so that I have given. So it is due to the database query load during peak traffic times. So in requirement phase, I have explained you why we require to take that non-functional requirement related to handling the loads, right? So this is
Yeah.
because of that requirement failure, this kind of issues will happen. Okay. So
This one is related to the requirement.
correct. Yeah. So I have given step-by-step resolution, identifying the problem, conducting a thorough analysis for website performance matrix. Okay. So you are getting the website performance matrix here. Okay. So it is slow actually. So it will not open the page, but you will get the website performance matrix with some reports. You can tell them. Like with some Power BI reports, we were getting the website performance matrix, like how it is performed, how the CPU utilization is for the website. So to identify problem, we have analyzed that thing, identified slow
Mhm.
database queries. You require to identify which query is slow so that we can just concentrate on that query rather than concentrating other things. Okay. Let's say only contact us page is getting slow. Other things are working fast. Contact us page is not opening fast. Okay. So you require to check the log for the contact us page and fetch that query. Okay. And you can uh, check the issue, actually, what exactly the issue is. So that is identifying the problem. Okay. Then analyze and prioritize queries. So you can use the SQL performance monitoring tool. So you know about SQL, right? Explain plan and all those things. Do you know?
Yeah.
Okay. So in you
And use the
in
performance monitor.
correct, correct. With using that, you require to analyze, prioritize the queries. Then optimization of the queries. Okay. Third thing, you know about indexes partitioning, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Statistics,
So you can
indexing.
tell them like we have applied the indexes to that specified query. We applied some partitioning to the specified tables to speed up the data retrieval. Okay. Next is caching is important in the database. So we have introduced the new caching mechanism to reduce the frequency of the database queries for frequently accessed data. Let's say one report the customer is needed multiple times. So you can put that report data in the cache. Okay. And customer will get that in one button click as fast as possible from the cache rather than it is hitting the database. So you can give that example. Testing and monitoring. We have tested that things, monitor that things properly, and deploy and communicate. Deploying the changes to the production environment, and after checking all the results, performance testing, you have communicated back to the client like we suspected that this query was slow, and that's why the that due to that slow database query and high CPU utilization, the complexequal.com's contact us page was not working fine. So we have optimized that query using these indexes, these partitioning techniques, and
Mm-hmm.
with using that partitioning techniques, we have resolved that issue. Okay, so this is one of the challenging situation you have faced during your software application support, and with using this step, I have resolved that in previous organization. Okay, does this make sense? This step makes sense?
That makes sense.
Okay, cool. Next interview question is: what steps do you take to evaluate and improve existing processes? Okay, so this is process related question, more of a process related question. Okay.
Yeah.
So you tell them like previously in my organization for one of the website support, complexequal.com support, we were not using any tool, supporting tool. So we have introduced that process into the picture. And as a team member, I have suggested to have the Jira tool to support the complexequal.com along with track and trace. Because for track and trace, we were always already using the Jira tool so that there might not be any cost related things to needs to take care of to the team, to the company as well. So I suggested that to my manager to use the support ticketing system Jira. Okay, so we have identified the process first. to evaluate the process of handling user support tickets for complexequal.com. So you find that Jira is the perfect tool for that. Okay. Second step is gathering the data. So collect the data, average response time, resolution time, and user satisfaction scores, and add it into the Jira. Okay. Analyze the process. Mapped out the current support workflow. So there is a support workflow for every ticket. Okay. I will show you that quickly. Support workflow. So this is one of ticket. Okay. And here in view workflow, you can see the support workflow. Okay. So you can tell them like this is the support workflow, which I am going to explain in Jira. Okay.
Mhm.
Jira session. So after starting, this is the workflow which we have implemented. You can give the answer. Like we have implemented multiple workflows. Identify improvement opportunities, suggested automating ticketing assignments. That is the next phase of improving existing process. So we have automated few ticketing system and knowledge based streamlined responses. Okay, using Copilot. We are trying to implement the Copilot integration with our Jira system right now. You can tell them like that. Okay, but that is work in progress process because Copilot is currently not integrated to Jira. Okay, just make sure that you are giving the answers like that. Else,
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was
you
saying.
will be telling them like it is integrated in my last organization. Then he might be surprised.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
It is coming in upcoming release of Copilot. So in this release, they are supporting only Excel, Word, Teams, and Outlook. Okay. So upcoming versions, they are supporting the Jira integration. Implement the changes,
Like,
monitor major.
typically,
Yeah.
so when they're talking of evaluating and improving existing process,
Mhm.
so the example you talk about complexequal.com, I think
Yes.
that's really a good one. That's
That is the
simple
good
and
one.
good.
Yeah, yeah, that is a good one. Yeah. So it will be
So you have
easy
to
to you
talk
to
about,
explain.
just from what you said, just to make sure I got it well. So you said something like the organization was already using Jira
Yes.
as the support ticketing system to
Yeah.
support the application complexequal.com. So
Yes.
now we had a new application which was track and trace.
Correct.
And after evaluating the application, you suggested that you should use Jira as well to
Correct.
support tickets. Now it makes sense. It makes sense to
That
reducing
makes
the
sense. And
cost
that
of.
will save the company cost as well. Right. You're not
It's
suggesting
easy
them to
to
use new
memorize like
software.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. Correct.
Hmm.
So these are
Yeah,
some
this is good.
steps which you can read. Okay.
Hmm.
And you can create your own answers rather than sticking to all these steps. If you are just trying to by heart these steps and all, then this is lot of things. So this is more ideal
Have
answer,
an
but
understanding.
yeah, it will be good to create
Yeah,
your
these
own
ones are
answers.
good because it gives you an understanding on what they are talking
Correct,
about.
correct. Yeah. Okay. Ninth interview question is describe a time when you had to work as a part of a team to solve the problem. So you can tell them like I'm always working as a part of the team and supporting team to resolve
Mhm.
multiple issues. But I would like to give you an example of complexequal.com where our team faced a major issue where website is experiencing a more frequent downtimes due to the server overloads. Okay, so you can give that example. This is different example. If you can see, I've never repeated the examples in uh, from other interview questions answers, right? So this is different
Yeah.
example of frequent downtime to the server overloads. So how we work together? First, we have identified the problem. Our team conducted a thorough analysis and identified the high traffic during the peak hours, which was causing the server overloads and downtime issues. Here, you can add your own sentence like, we were using some monitoring tool like Control M, and through Control M details from Control M uh, experienced person, we suspected that the traffic is high during the peak hours. And it is due to that, it is the issue to the server, and server overload issue is facing by the application. Okay. Then second
So
step, we
control M, is it like a tool that application support they use mostly?
yes, it is. It is not application support tool. It is used for monitoring the servers. Okay, it is monitoring tool, just like Jira
As
is
in
issue management tool.
control M.
Control M, CON, Control M.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay. M, like M as in mango.
M as in mango. Correct. Yeah,
Okay, control M. Okay.
yeah. So there are multiple tools. If they ask you the question about what other tools do you know, what other monitoring tools do you know, then you can answer like Control M is one of the tool. Second is Wakaru. Third is yeah, you can give two. That's fine.
I, I
Okay.
know even
At
know.
your experience, two tools are enough. Yeah. Okay, second important step working with a team is collaborate and brainstorm. So we held the brainstorming sessions with the team from IT, development, and operations to come up together with the potential solutions. Ideas included load balancing, server optimization, and scaling infrastructure. So collaboration is important in this server overload issues. Okay, you can't solve the server overload issues with one team or one person cannot solve this issue, right? Because there are multiple teams are involved. Database team needs to do the optimization to SQL. The server team needs to suggest some potential solutions like load balancing solutions or server optimization. So as a
The
working
network
as a,
team.
yeah,
I think the network team also has to do something, right?
networking. Yeah, networking. Correct. Yeah. So for that, we did the brainstorming session. We have scheduled some calls in our previous organizations to get what exactly the issue is. And after that, suspecting that issue, we have implemented that and resolved that issue. Okay. Implementation of
Okay.
load balancing. So we have decided to implement the load balancing to distribute the traffic evenly across multiple servers. Okay. So let's say complexequal.com is slow and it is deployed to only one server. We don't have load balancer. Okay. So it was not working fine. So what we have suggested to add one more server, deploy that application to one more server, and in between the two servers, load balancer should have to be there to balance the load. So let's say 100 visitors are visiting this website at the same time. 50 visitors will
Mhm.
visit to one server, other 50 visitors will visit to other server. So it will balance the
So
load.
that's the,
Correct?
so that's the meaning of load balancer.
Correct. Yeah.
Simply dispatching them.
Yes. Test and optimize. We have tested that solutions, optimize that solution, and monitor and communicate. After implementation of that solution, we require to monitor that whether it is working fine or not working fine. Correct. So monitoring is important step while working as a team. So this is one of the example I have given for describing a time when you had to work as a part of the team to solve the problem. So you can give the similar answer. Okay. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
Okay. So this is the last interview question we are discussing for today. So we have many to discuss, which we can discuss it tomorrow because I have yet to prepare the answer for the same. How
Mhm.
do you handle conflicting priorities between different departments? So if you can see your job description, there are multiple departments, right? You're required to communicate with multiple departments. That is one of the job description. Communicate needed support, product enhancements, update, solutions, existing process. Okay, as per assigned, but I have read somewhere. Okay, so that is in your job description. That's why I took this question.
Mhm.
Supporting complexequal.com website. I have given the scenario of complexequal.com only. And
Okay.
uh, the real life example is different than other whatever we have discussed. Okay. So how do you handle conflicting priorities between different departments? Let's say scenario is marketing needs a new website feature for campaign. In complexequal.com, marketing needs one feature needs to add it, like campaign page needs to add it over here, and we require to do the campaign from marketing point of view. But IT team needs to perform urgent security updates. Okay. So here
Mhm.
is your you require to decide conflicting priorities where two departments are involved. You can see here marketing department is involved and IT department is involved. Correct? So how you have resolved that problem, conflicting problem? So you can explain following steps. First is assess the priorities. Okay, you require to assess whether marketing department thing is important to you or IT department thing is
Mhm.
important to you, considering the business priority. Business priority is important because who are using that application? Business people who are making the money from that application, right? So you require to decide
Okay.
that, assess that priority. So evaluated the urgency and impact of both requests. The security updates were critical to protect user data, while new feature were important for upcoming campaign. Okay, so you got to know that the security updates are critical for protecting the user data, and new features were important for upcoming campaigns, right?
Yeah.
So you require to assess that priority, get that information from multiple departments. That is important. Okay. Second step is communicate. Held a meeting with the both departments to discuss their needs and potential impact of delaying the either task. So you require to have different meetings. Okay, don't set it together like marketing, IT, and your team. Don't set that meeting. You set one meeting with the marketing people, check their priorities, their needs, and if we delay their task, what is important? Okay, that task is important. You don't require to tell them like there is another request from IT department as well, which we require to prioritize. No, you require to have a separate call with marketing, separate call with IT, and decide which task is important. Okay. Third step is compromise. Agree to perform security updates immediately and schedule the development of new features right after the updates were completed. So you don't require to tell them like we are uh, delaying your request, but you require to communicate in other way. Like we require to do some security updates on the system, which are really important for protecting the user data. And after immediately after that, we are taking your request regarding the new upcoming campaign feature. Okay, there will not be that much delay, but we are delaying that somehow, some with some days. Okay, due to that security updates because those are important. Okay, so you require to compromise and communicate with that multiple departments. Then document communicated plan in both department explaining rationale behind the decision. So you require to add that communication plan for both departments on conference page in detail. Okay, and why we require to take the decision, that is important because it is again impacting the campaign as well, right? Because that new feature requires to do some campaign, so you require to
Mhm.
document that properly. Okay, your business analyst will do that, you don't require to do that. You require to help him to do that documentation and monitor regularly, review the progress, ensure both tasks are completed as per schedule. Okay. So with these steps, I effectively manage the conflicting priorities, ensure that both departments' needs were addressed without compromising the overall goals of complexequal.com website. Okay, so these are some steps. And this is the answer for this question. How do you handle conflicting priorities between different departments? Does this make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay. So these are most important 10 commonly asked interview questions, which are behavioral interview questions, you can say, in technical support or application support. Okay. So any
Hmm.
questions in this, or this is okay?
No, this one is good. Please just share this one to my WhatsApp so I can go through it again and try to,
Sure,
understand it again better.
sure. So I'm
I
stopping
feel
the
like
recording
this.
right now.